Right, I just want to give a great big shout out to the NHS. The staff are absolutely amazing. As you can see, my skin has flared up again on my face. That's sort of happened over this week, probably because it's been so hot. I think everybody's been having problems with the weather. Now, yesterday hit me literally like a freight train. I'm not joking. Ever since having my colonoscopy, due to obviously assessing my bowel movements and to check my small and large intestine because of me constantly having chronic diarrhea, which is obviously part of having bile acid malabsorption. The last sort of 2 weeks have been a little bit sporadic. But yesterday, oh my God, was an absolute nightmare for me. I logged every single time yesterday that I went to the toilet. And I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks so that I've got a record for my doctor. And then all of a sudden, at around 1 o'clock this morning, I could not stop going to the toilet. So I did what any normal person would do. I took some Imodium, or loperamide is what it's called. And hopefully I read the instructions correctly, and it said, take it, and then if it doesn't stop you after you've gone again, take some more. So I took 4 in total. Not all in one go, but obviously spaced out. And I still was not feeling 100%. I was getting chronic pains in my arms, in my legs, in my chest, in my abdomen. So I rang the 111 service and they were brilliant. I then had a phone call back, which is what they do, with somebody like a triage nurse. She suggested I go to A&E, and I says to her, look, it is like almost 3 o'clock in the morning. It's an unrealistic expectation for me to go to A&E this early, especially with me having chronic diarrhea. The one thing they never said to me, though, that's the only fault I will have, is they never said keep hydrated, to prevent dehydration. But apart from that, they did everything else to the book. She then said, okay, if you don't want to go to A&E, you speak to an out-of-hours GP. And they were absolutely amazing. They tried to access my medical records, but for some reason, they've disappeared again. And I said to them, look, I think I know what's wrong, but I don't want to have to waste NHS time, and I don't want to have to go and sit in A&E unless they're going to do me a blood test, because I believe that it's all linked to my bile acid malabsorption and my elevated white blood cell count, because my bone marrow produces too many white blood cells, which is obviously causing the lack of oxygen to my body. And the moment I put the phone down with the doctor, he said, go and take some paracetamol, see how you are. Took the paracetamol, and literally within 2 minutes, I was on the phone to 999. I could not breathe. I felt like I was having a heart attack. I had pins and needles in my arms, in my legs. I had chronic pain in my chest, in my stomach, in the left side of my body. I was literally screaming in pain, and I thought to myself, oh my God, no, please don't do this to me. The last time I felt like this was 10 years ago. Why is this happening again now? And the paramedics and the lady I spoke to on the phone, the 999 woman, she was excellent. They came out, they were so calm, they were so patient with me. This is why I know I could never do that for a living. I could never be that calm and patient with someone. I was totally freaking out. They kept trying to do an ECG, but because I was so hot, because obviously it's been so warm, all the sticky pads kept falling off me, bless them. They must have tried about 3 times to do one. And I'm literally screaming in pain, and they couldn't give me any pain relief at all. And then I was sick in front of them. And the moment I was sick, the pain started to subside. But I let them carry on doing their job. And they checked my oxygen, they checked my heart, and they checked my bloods and my blood pressure. And everything was normal. The only issue and concern they had was that I had a high temperature, and they were worried, obviously, about the lesions on my legs, which was the first thing they noticed when they came into the house. And I said to them, look, I've had these now for a good few months. They still haven't gone away. My doctor is aware of it, but is unsure how to treat them. They were adamant that because of the amount of pain I was in, they wanted to take me into hospital. And I said, look, just give me a minute. And I went into the kitchen, and the first thing I did was, I bet everyone's going to know the answer to this, is I went and got some Rennies. And I have taken 5 packets of these in the last, from about 3 o'clock this morning. And I'm not joking, I just remember opening up all of these, shoving them all in my mouth, and just taking them. And the first time I did it, I was sick. And they, again, were really worried about me. And when I was sick, I could actually taste the acid. Yeah, that was coming out of my stomach. So basically, what I think has happened is that because I stopped myself going to the toilet, what has then happened is the bile acid in my body has had nowhere to go. And so what it's done is my body has continued to build up that bile and that acid. And that is why I was in so much pain. So it was like having reflux, basically, acid reflux. And the only thing was, for some reason, I wasn't being sick. So I did the one thing, obviously, that I remember being told to do when I had gallstones in my gallbladder. And they basically said, take Rennies. Until I could have my operation, the only thing that the hospital could advise me to do was to be careful about what I ate, keep a food diary, and basically eat Rennies.
On charge and it went up 1%.
Okay, that's fine. We can put it on charge. So I'm going to go now, but I just want to say a big thank you to the NHS. I am so lucky that they are available and still there to support people.
I'm on 15%.
So hopefully, when I get hold of my GP, and even though it's Friday, they will send me for some blood work, and hopefully this time they will test my blood and tell me definitely what is wrong, because I think I know what it might be based on what I've read online. And I do not think they've already tested me for that. They've tested me for everything else, but I don't know if they've tested me for this. And if that is what it is, then there is no cure. But at least I'll know what is wrong, and then I can put procedures in place to manage it in the future. And I think that is the most important thing, is once you know what is wrong with you, then you can put procedures in place to help. But I'll tell you what, today, usually when I phone up at 999 or go into hospital, I feel like crap. I feel like, why am I here? Why am I wasting NHS time? But this morning, oh my God, I literally thought I was going to die. That is how much pain I was in. And the fact that, like I said, I was getting pins and needles sensation in my arms, and that was what I was told was a sign of a heart attack. So that is why I made that call, and it's a good job I did, because I would have hated for my son to have woken up this morning and found me dead on the floor. So once again, thank you, NHS. You are a real lifesaver, and we need to make sure that the NHS continues to run in this country.
Yeah, for sure, need to make it so.